Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Beautiful Crow, and I'm here with the boy Vic Seal, and we're doing the first ever episode of our anime podcast, DNAnime. Welcome in. I hope you guys also anime fans. I've been an anime fan so as long as I can remember memories, you know what I mean? So we are here. We're doing our first ever true episode of DNAnime. And I hope you guys are excited because I am. It's always a good time. Because one of the things that I don't know if it was maybe a kind of like a symptom of the pandemic, as well as me just being antisocial in person, but I feel like that I haven't had the opportunity to really like talk to anybody about anything. So I always end up watching like shows or I'll read a manga and I never talk to anybody about it. And then it just goes out of my head and I just forget everything about it. And I'm just like, you need to be able to have the opportunity to sit down and gush about these things that you enjoy, things that you really appreciate because I love anime. So, this will be our outlet. This will be our muse. What we're going to be doing is just sitting down here and sharing our passions with you guys, the listeners. So I hope you guys are ready to talk shit about anime, talk about all the things that we used to watch, all the things that we're watching right now, the things that we like, the things that we hate, get controversial, have crazy ass opinions about all kind of shit. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a wild ride and we are ready to rock and roll. So welcome in for the first episode of DN Anime.
Well, that was really good. I did not write my acceptance speech like that. So mine is just, what's up, everybody? It's your boys. Welcome on in. Let's get it started.
Let's go. But yeah, I guess what we should do is, okay, Vix, this is what we should do. This is our opening. Right. That's what the title at the top says. So let's do a little introduction, right? My name is Beautiful Crow. You can just call me Crow or whatever. Y'all can just call me Crow. And if you're freaking naughty, you can call me Mr. Crow if you're nasty. No, joke. But anyway, I've been an anime fan since I was a kid. Before I even knew what anime was. I watched Pokemon. I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched anything that came on. I was a big cartoon kid. You know what I mean? Most of the kids our generations were raised by the TV. Which, if you're watching the documentary, is terrible. But we won't talk about the This is an anime podcast. We talk about Nickelodeon right now. Again, I grew up watching pretty much anything that I could get my hands on or get my eyeballs on when I was a kid. So again, Dragon Ball Z was my shit. Pokemon, Digimon, Beyblades, whatever I could find. Again, I didn't know what it was. I legitimately just thought, like, this is really fucking cool. When you were watching Scooby-Doo as a kid, you're just like, oh, this is great. Look at them. They solve the mysteries and stuff like that. It's fun. And then you see Goku beat the shit out of Raditz. And I'm just like, what the hell? Goku got a whole hole shot in his chest, blood everywhere. I can see his rib bones. I was just like, what is going on? Like, anime was just so different for me when I was a kid. And it immediately stuck out as like, yo, I don't know what it is, but this is special. This is different. And this is awesome. And I fucking loved it. You know what I mean? So that was kind of like my introduction. I've been watching anime ever since then. I'm a 90s kid, so I've been watching it ever since the 90s up until now. I've been a lifelong anime fan, and it's been one hell of a journey just watching kind of like how anime has changed, how the perception of anime has changed over the years as well, and kind of like my growth as an anime fan. Not much has honestly changed. I legitimately still watch shonen. I'm a shonen boy. But, my tastes have expanded, My taste has expanded. So, it's changed over the years, and we'll kind of get into that as we get into some topics, some anime action. But how about you, Vix? When did you start watching anime? What grabs you? What hooked you by the huevos when you was a youngin?
All right, my name is Vic Seal, but you just call me Vix. No, it does not rhyme with pixel. I started watching anime before I even realized that anime was a thing. I remember the first time that I ever recognized anime as as its own medium was. I was in 6th grade, and it was Naruto that came up on Toonami, and I was like, what is this? This is a bunch of ninjas fighting each other. And I remember going to gym and trying to talk to people about what's coming up on Toonami, and only one person was like interested. So ever since then, it was like you just trying to find somebody that you can really like talk to about it. And not very many people give you the opportunity to do that because so many people are under the assumption that it is just for kids. And it's like, this is not just for kids. And like, even from when a young age, I could tell that it was not just for children. There was something extra, something special there. And that was what I always defaulted to. It became so much more interesting to watch what people could come up with. And as I was trying to get more into the flow of like watching more anime, I started to realize some of the things that I had already been watching, such as Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, even Sailor Moon, Pokemon. All those were like right at the top, and I was like, I didn't even know that these were all anime, like this is my scope right here, so this is what I would just watch. And then that just became like what I really like to sink all my time into. And over time, everybody else kind of grew out of it or fell away from it. So I started doing like Crow said, where it was just like you read or watch something and you can't talk about it because nobody was around to listen. So getting started with this podcast, I'm really excited to like actually get the chance to talk to not only Crow but also all of the other listeners about how they got into anime and what their interests are, things like that.
Yeah, that's the fun bit. Because again, I was fortunate. I always had at least one friend growing up that watched anime as well. Like again, everybody fucking watched Pokemon when they were a kid. Everybody watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid. Even though I got bullied for it, everybody knew everything about Dragon Ball, every character's name. So it's like at the very least, you could find some people who at least watch those. But as I grew older, especially when like I was in my teenage years, I had so much free time that I was just watching everything under the sun. It just sucked because some friends, they didn't have that same interest. So you end up like all liking anime or all liking games, but then you all like separate stuff. So everybody's watching like something different. And it's just like, man, that fucking sucks, dude. Like I want to talk about this stuff with people. So this is what again, this podcast will be entertainment for you guys, but it's also gonna be an outlet for us to just kind of like have that place where we can shoot the shit. And hopefully you guys are watching the same stuff. Or you guys will be recommended some cool stuff, some good anime, some good mangas, some good manhwas, as we were talking about earlier. But that was before stream or before podcast. We will talk about that. But you know, again, hopefully we can get you guys, if you aren't big into anime, you aren't big into manga. Hopefully we can get you guys interested in it. If you guys are, then hopefully we can give you some good recommendations, and you guys can recommend stuff to us that we can start watching. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited. And thank you guys for listening to the first episode of DNAnime.
All right, so we go ahead and just start up our first question. Which one did you want to start with?
So I figured since we're talking about anime, kind of like where we got started with anime and where we kind of like started this journey off, well, why don't we start off with what anime starts off with? The openings. So the first topic of the day will be what makes a good anime opening. So again, this is one of Vix's questions. We sat down. Vix came up with a bunch of questions for the first episode of the podcast. But again, if you guys want your questions to be heard, if you guys want your voice to be heard, you can let us know in the Discord of what topics that you want. But the first one of the day is what makes a good anime opening? And I feel like this is a very complex question because it could be a couple of things. Like if I can go off the top of my head right now of anime that I'm watching currently, which ain't a lot. Right now, the anime openings that stand out, and I know you guys have heard me talk about it a lot, is one. The first one's going to be a surprise. It's Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling's opening is so good, dude.
Oh, really?
Every time I sit down, it's so good. And it's like, it's all in English, which is crazy. And it's like, it's all in English. It's like a K-pop song. And it's so fucking catchy. And then animation is like so smooth. And then again, you know, I'm black. So it's got like a little bit of hip hop in it. And they start rapping like in the side part. So like that's always fun as well. And it is really, really good. It's really catchy. It's really fun. The animation is great. And that's really good. And then the next one, which will not probably be a surprise if you guys know anything about me, will be Mashle. Again, Mashle's theme just came out of nowhere. And I don't know what happened. I was seeing it everywhere. It was on TikTok. It was on YouTube. Everybody was bling, blom, blom, bling, blom, blom, born all over the place. And it's so good. It's so fun. It really fits like the theme of the show. I haven't watched a lot of Mashle. I kind of just been like watching random episodes everywhere. And it's been so much fun seeing the animation, seeing the dance, having the weird like Jersey, what do they call it? Like Jersey club trap music or whatever it is with the squeaky ass like chair sound. Yeah, dude.
I almost didn't like it because of the squeaky chair. And then I
shit.
Heard it the first time I was like, man, this sucks. And then it was like brainwashing where it just kept coming up so often that I was like, wait, this is kind of fire. Wait a minute.
Dude, is so good. Like I really and truly enjoy it so much, and it's so much fun. But it's just like, well, what are those elements that really make the opening catchy? And it is stuff that will catch your attention by storm. Like a lot of the anime, especially like in the mid-aughts, I would say like late, like maybe around like 2008, 2009, they all kind of had that Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood like feel. So like a lot of those anime openings, it was just like, okay, some J-Rock, really cool visuals that kind of like, either go through the story of the show or kind of hit some of the themes or whatever. And then you have those like the trademark anime shots where like all the main characters are falling through the blue sky, or you have the little bit where it's like,
have
and
their
then the main characters
to follow now.
Yeah, they're like it was very formulaic because it was like, and there's just a weird era. So like the one that always points to my head is that era, right? Where it's like all the main characters, kind of like the Bleach era. All the main characters are running together. It's very colorful. Main characters fall from the sky. Then all of a sudden you have like those sad moments where it's like all the characters sitting down looking depressed, and it's like heavy shadows, and then the music like gets a little dark, and then it picks up and it's happy again, and then everybody's like doing cool action fighting against whatever big bad they're gonna be fighting at, or whatever villain pairing they're gonna be fighting in that season. And it's really, really good, but it got formulaic for a while. So some of them that really stand out are like the ones that have like visual wise, they're very distinct. They're very colorful. They're very fun. Because again, you'll have like lazy anime openings where it's just like they kind of just take clips from the show, or they kind of just like take scenes from the show and they're like reanimated just for the opening. But like the ones that really always stuck out to me was the ones where it's like they get like experimental, Like it'll be like the weird clashing colors, or the characters will be dressing up. Ooh, one of my favorites, like whenever they have the main character start singing the anime opening. Ooh, I don't know why. Not enough
when the
animes
characters
do that.
in the show sing the opening.
Oh,
that's
I love it so much.
Good. Like
I love
at
it.
the beginning, you're like, oh, this is a pretty good song, and then like you later realize that it's like them in the show. That adds like so much more to the opening. I could not tell you why, but I fucking love it when they do that.
It's simple shit like that is just so much fun. And then I think, because again, there's different eras, and back in the day when I was a kid, what we had was like, you talked about how people say anime is for kids, but we had 4 kids which would do their own anime openings. So that's where you get the trademark yeah yo dreaming, don't give it up Luffy. That the One Piece
I thought
kids
that was the
English
official
opening
one for so long, and I was like 2 months ago or something, I found out that 4 Kids had a separate opening for that, and I was like,
Wait, 2 months
what?
ago?
Yeah, I've been lied to my whole life.
Dude, I fucking love the One Piece opening, and it's so bad. It's so bad. I love how stupid it is. Oh, it's so good. And then I would love like every time they would get a new Nakama or a new, crew member, they would have to adjust it. And it like the song would get like faster and faster when they're naming all the characters, like Usopp's doing that marksman thing, Chopper's or what is it, Sanji's cooking, the doctoring. And it's just like you can't just throw in the characters like everybody else had like a whole LAD why Nami's not shy. Like they have this whole thing, and then it's like Chopper's doing some doctor shit. I don't fucking know. But it was so dumb and I loved it. And again,
I think that's what
where you
like
get
contributes to it is like the what makes it so good is that it does match the vibe of the show. Like the opening is dumb, like it like so much is going on that it's just like it's chaos, it's random, nothing making any sense. Some things are just like way overpowering over others, and it's like you get to the show and that's exactly what happens. Like you get everything that you like feel from the show or from the opening in the show. So that what like adds to it. So when you get an opening that's like all sad and depressing, and then like the show is like happy, you're not in the right mindset when you go in. So it either dampens the opening or it dampens the show. So that's something that a lot of shows seem to have like gotten around. Typically, like especially with shonen ones, it's just like upbeat, hype stuff. Some really get you going, like Fire Force's opening. Both of theirs are truly amazing, and it really matches like high impact. Like you really want to just go when you hear those songs. Those really tie into what you feel when you watch the show. It's just like there's so much, and it's, for no pun intended, it's fire.
Yeah. But that really brings it up because you kind of touched on it. There was this switch because for the longest time, like when we got anime over in the States, they would have their own openings or whatever, like kind of like One Piece, where it had its own like English dub rap, or you had like Pokemon, which again is a classic anime opening that's fantastic, but it kind of shifted to where now we don't really get those. I think the last one really was like when Funimation started dubbing One Piece, and then they kind of did an English translated version, like a English cover of the original We Are One Piece opening that was sung by Redacted. but no, so like it was a shift because at first like we would get our own English version of the anime openings, which would be like a totally different thing. Like I remember when Rave Master came out, I don't know what the actual Rave Master anime opening is, But when you got the fucking sky, he who controls the sword, it must become the master. 3, 2, 1, type of revolution. Like that shit was so go for glory. Like that shit was it. Like Digimon or like Digimon. Digimon, like I'm sure that wasn't popping off in Japan like that, but
digital monster,
Digimon, like the show opening again. I don't know if it was because they were like, man, kids are fucking stupid, but the opening of the show had to explain everything about the show. Like it was pretty much just like synopsis of the show before you started watching, and it was great. Like it was great because it would break down the characters, it would break down the things, and then we went through an era where they stopped doing that, where they were like kind of like, okay, it's going to be a synopsis, kind of explains the show. Yayo, Nami's not the Nami's LADY, Nami's not shy or whatever. But instead of that, it kind of went to like English versions of the anime openings, which was great. And then after that, they also went to just pretty much just giving us what the Japanese versions were getting. Like there wasn't a real difference. Like there's not a difference anymore. Like the solo leveling opening is just the same solo level opening that we would get in Japan or in the States. The same thing with Mashle. It's just, the same opening. Like we don't get those anymore. And I kind of miss that. I kind of miss like getting our own version of anime opening with the English dub of a show. But I mean, in all honesty, a lot of people just watch anime sub now.
I think that they have also been they've been really evolving going through their openings, where like Jujutsu Kaisen is the most prominent, obvious answer, where
Woo!
they like as you said, everyone's so used to the opening giving you a synopsis, and then JJK like tricks the shit out of you, and they're like, "Hey, look at this cool guy. You like him?"
Dude, that fucking mind freaked me, man. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to this character. They over there eating all the picnics and shit.
If you watch, I didn't even notice, but like every consecutive like opening for JJK, every time someone like vanishes or dies or whatever, they remove them from the opening so that you like the opening becomes more and more empty. So that ties back into like what I mentioned, where the opening really gives you what you feel in the show. Every time you go back into JJK, there's missing people. Well, they're not in the opening anymore either. So you feel like you remember that they're gone. You remember their part in the opening. And then when they're not there, you almost don't realize it. And then when the show comes up, you're like, oh yeah, they're not here. And you're like, uh-oh, wait a minute. And then you see somebody that's not there and you're like, what does this mean? and now you get all of the people, all of the fans like involved, and they're like trying to analyze everything, and it's just like an extra level of like participation that we didn't get before. Before it was just like, this is the opening, this is what you can get. Now it's like, what does this mean?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. And again, I've watched so many YouTube videos breaking down the themes of anime openings. Like it became a whole genre on YouTube for a while. I mean, it kind of still is. Like normally we're breaking down the themes and everything like that, but then I feel like you learn a lot, or you can get like foresight based off of an anime opening. Like you'll look at it and be like, wait, what the fuck does this mean? Or oh shit, what's going on with this character? Why is this character like this? Or why is this character over there? And it's just like you kind of like looking at just like, okay, what the fuck is going to happen? Like if you're not up to date in the manga, then you probably you don't know. But you'll be watching something like JJK, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. JJK gave me fucking like PTSD, man. I don't trust JJK no more. That show just meant to fucking break you, dude. But again, like anime openings are very important because they get you hyped for the show, and they can be good advertisement tools. Again, I wasn't going to watch MASH. I just thought the MASH was just like One Punch Man, but with magic.
Harry Potter.
Like, yeah. And Harry I was like, I get this. Yeah. And I was like, I get this. That's nothing new. And then
I watched it specifically because I thought it was something that was like, I was like, I just need something to watch or something to read. And because I actually started with the manga, so I was like, I need something to read. And then it carried in, and I'm glad that they did because it was like so good. And I wasn't expecting them to like have a good opening like that. I was ready for them to just like totally throw it to the wayside and be like, well, it's a stupid one-off anime, man. Just give them the old razzle dazzle and then just send it on its way. But then they drop a fucking track like that, and well, now everybody's talking about it. So
it got me to
now
watch.
Everybody's got to listen or watch it so that they can just feel in the loop.
Yep. Again, I that's the reason why I started watching Mashle, or at least it was on my radar. I was just like, man, this song is so much fun, and I was just hearing it everywhere. I was like, I want to check it out. I really and truly, I was like, I just want to sit down and watch it now. And again, that's the importance of an anime opening. Like, it is kind of like the advertisement for the show, or at the very least, if you're already planning on watching it, then it's what gets you hyped, and you're excited for it. There's certain anime that I will not skip the opening for because it's just that damn good. And
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm watching my favorite show and I'm listening to the song. Like, so
yeah,
good.
Free Rent is that. They have such a good opening. There are some shows I'm like, if I watch this opening, I'm not gonna watch this anime because this opening just sucks. And I'm like, this just sucks. And I'm like, if I like the show, but not enough to go through the opening. So thank God Crunchyroll added like a skip intro button. That thing is
They didn't have that for the longest, dude.
I know, they just recently added it not too long ago, and I'm like, this is so good. I love it. And they have it in for skip the credits too. So that's like really good for shows that have like bit at the end after the ending, which I freaking hate, man. I just need to know. I need to know. Dude. There's no indication that it's there. You just start up the next episode and you're like, what?
I feel like I missed something.
You're like, I missed something important.
Some anime. Yeah, there was some anime that was like that, where they would have like little end bits. And I would skip them all the time. I can't remember what anime it was. And then they referenced it once, or I just let it play all the way through. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, this is like story relevant stuff. Like, what's going on here? It'd be like the last like 30 seconds of the fucking, like, after the credits, after the end song, everything like that.
Yeah, they get one attempt. I will watch it on the first episode, and that is it.
I do feel like the anime stopped doing like next time on whatever. I'm always waiting at the end of solo level and be like, what's going to happen next episode? And it's just like a TV with the next episode name. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think most of them did stop. They now pretty much end after the ending and just like stops hard. I would rather have them just stop hard at the end of the ending instead of like getting caught in the like adding random BS at the end. Shangri-La does add stuff at the end of it, but it's like, it's some dumb mini theater and like you can skip it and not miss anything.
Yeah,
like, those are fine. I wish I had
fun.
5 more minutes of the show, but like, you know what, this is fine. If you can have like a god tier anime at the beginning and then just go into the little mini theater at the end, it's fine. But if your show sucks and then you go through the shitty ending and then the ending sucks, no excuse. You don't get that.
All right, so do we want to open it up to Q&A for everybody?
Yeah, we'll move on over. I see that Lunatic had asked a question that was in your chat, so you can go ahead and read that out and we'll refer to it.
I'll read it out because it stretched all the way across the entire goddamn known galaxy because how long it was on the screen. But okay, silly question here. This question is from Lunatic Crown. But silly question here. Or have you noticed a lot of anime or magic anime have a similar style of music, like Kinja no Mago and his specific type of magic anime? I mean, I honestly just feel like that's a lot of animation studios just noticing trends. Because you'll notice that, like, a lot of shows, like a lot of isekais have similar like themes or songs. Or it'd be something like, how many goddamn anime had a Lisa track as their opening?
Well, to be fair, though, like, Lisa is fucking, like, her music is so good.
Yeah. Like, I mean, every Lisa, like, opening or OP that I heard, like, every Fullmetal Alchemist opening, amazing. Every other anime that has a Lisa track, amazing. So a lot of them are just like, okay, well, this is what anime fans want, this type of music that they listen to. It probably tests well. They'll probably be doing, like, screenings of, like, hey, look at this anime. Did you like the opening? How did you like the episode? What do you think about the animation? Like, I'm sure they do test screenings, or when they're showing off new animes at different conventions in Japan, they probably are asking people like, okay, what did you like? What did you dislike? What do you think of this? And then they kind of just, again, it's just business. If something's popular and something's trending and something's doing well, then a lot of other things are going to ape it and parody it. Or not parody it, but also copy it. But that's why we get so many isekai now. Isekai is kind of like the hot new genre. And now we're getting stuff about, hey, what if I was a vending machine? What if I was a cat? What if I was this, born in another world? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of how it is. It's I
think there's just like magic as a whole. You can't really match it too much. To me, if there was like a screamo track over it, that wouldn't make much sense for the most part. I would be like, I don't understand why they're like doing a screamo track. So the typical like magic music is like, it's understandable because it puts you in the world, so you can like kind of feel the magic without actually being able to feel magic. You know how that is?
Yeah, I mean, again, when you're looking at theming for a show, if it is going to be about magic, you probably want to have it. You know, you want to have that vibe. You want to have that thematic, and they're probably looking at other shows and other music, or just a genre of music that might fit with that. And then that's why those OPs, the openings, are sounding so similar. At least that's my best guess.
I mean, if it falls into the if it works, don't, or if it's not broken, don't fix it category.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's like some reason that it shouldn't be, like, I could see heavy metal becoming the music for like evil or dark or heavy magic, then that would make sense. But if I'm casting fairy pixie glitter and then all I hear is death screamo and I'm like, what? So
yeah, no,
I feel like
you.
that they have to resonate with each other, and not a lot of like different genres really can.
Yeah. So that might be why. That's our uninformed opinion on that. But no, I mean, I genuinely think that's it. But yeah, thank you so much for the question, Lunatic Crown. Now we have another question from Symbiotic Nova. Nova's asking, what is your favorite OP ending? So opening or ending from an obscure anime. So I was thinking about that in my head because I'm terrible, like, on the spot.
I definitely,
like,
don't listen to endings. So like, the only endings that I ever listened to were like Full Metal Alchemist, and I think D Gray Man. I used to listen to their openings and their endings. They also were like really good. My favorite opening, I don't know if it's obscure or not, but it's not very many people talk about it, and especially because it's not a shonen. My favorite opening from a obscure anime would be, I forget the name of the song, but it's Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. I don't know why I love that song so much. So much. It has been on my Spotify playlist for years. And I was like, this is not even like, there's nothing unique about this song, but I love it so much. And I like, every time I listen to it, I'm like, I think it's literally just the singer is just like smooth. That's it. Beaver, is that the name of it?
Maybe. While Vix looks that up, I got a couple of answers, right? So I would say Rave Master. I don't know if Rave Master is technically obscure, but since I brought it up earlier,
like, it really didn't fall into the line like Fairy Tail did.
Yeah, no, that shit was not. Wasn't Eldritch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let this play real quick. It's anime themed, and we're in Q&A section. I would say JoJo, but JoJo's is not obscure. But no, you want to know? I'll let the music play. I'll admit the music play. You want to know what my obscure anime opening that I really, really love? There's two of them. I really love the opening for... Ooh, no, there's three of them. Okay, welcome to the NHK. Welcome to the NHK. The opening was so fucking good. I don't know if anybody watched that anime. I would highly recommend NHK. That, oh my God, it was so good. Like, I love that opening so much.
I actually started at Welcome to the NHK, and I just stopped watching it at some point. It was like 4 episodes in, and I just forgot it existed. And then it finished, and I was like, oh shit.
Because it's a story about you. It's a story about a Kikamori who don't like going outside and an anime girl trying to fix him. But no, like, I really, really, really enjoyed Welcome to the NHK's opening. I would say also another obscure would be Great Teacher Onizuka. I really, really love the opening of Great Teacher Onizuka. Like, I love the art style, how it's like very sketchy. Like, it's sketchy. I love the song. I love the Onizuka just in general because he's a fucking idiot.
I don't know that one.
Dude, GTO, just look up GTO anime. It's so fucking good, dude. I love Great Teacher Onizuka. And then my third one, I don't know why I did 3, but fuck it. My third one was Detroit Metal City. I love Detroit Metal City. It's about a metal band that's kind of like Kiss, but the main character is like this dork ass, like, as a mentally fucked person, I resonate with the main character for real, for real. I'm sorry, Nova. I hope your day getting better, man. But no, like, Detroit Metal City, again, I love metal music. I love just music in general. And watching this anime about a young teenage boy who's like meek and very dorky, just somehow become the front man of this like hair metal, Kiss kind of like knockoff band, and how he just kind of like navigates the water of doing that while also having this, having like that separate persona while also just being like this meek kid is very fun. And the opening is very good for that as well. And so those are my underrated or, not very, mainstream anime openings that I really enjoyed that I would highly recommend. But yeah, I guess we got another question. We got a question from the boy Kai Fallout. What's an anime you watched that you think deserves more credit? Be controversial if you want to. It's a Q&A podcast after all. I don't know. Like the anime that I think
there's
deserves more
one
credit.
thing I can think of right now.
Mhm.
I think Demon Slayer gets too much hate. It deserves the credit. It's like it's not like underrated or anything, but everybody hates on it because it's simple. And I think like because they did that on purpose, they deserve their credit for that. They get so much hate because it's like, oh, this is the standard story for whatever. It's nothing like spectacular, and it's like, but that's not the point. That they're everybody says that it's trash because it got carried by the animation, and I'm like, I don't think that's true at all. The story is fine. It's like it deserves the credit that it is due, and people try to undersell it for just because it is like graphically or visually astounding. It is hated on way too much for specifically that aspect. It having a simple story, it's fine. Not everything needs to bend reality. It's fine.
Exactly. My feelings on that. I love Demon Slayer, right? And I love animation just in general. And I think it has some of the best animation in like I don't know how to pronounce the damn studio name. Is Ufotable, UFO table? I don't know. It's one or the other one. But like they do an amazing job, and I've been a huge fan of them ever since I was watching the Fate series back in the day. Like
they're so good.
They're one of the best animation studios. And I love how they incorporate 2D and 3D aspects in Demon Slayer. I think it looks amazing. It is beautiful. And I was around when Demon Slayer first came out, and everybody loved it. And then now it's just, like most things, it gets so popular that people. Yeah, and the thing is that Demon Slayer to me is a summer blockbuster. It's not meant to be high art. It's not fucking meant to be Shakespeare. It's not meant to be something that is going to change your worldview or whatever. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun characters. It's colorful. There's a couple of things that I really think that Demon Slayer does well, and what lends to its popularity. And I genuinely think that one of the things I love so much is Tanjiro's empathy. It's not empathy.
He's got like a different level of empathy compared to like most of the like shonen protagonists. Yeah. There's like all of them, like they hit him with the Naruto talk no jutsu. But Tanjiro, he has a level of, I understand that doesn't always work, and he will murder you if you are just like, well, you got to be like that. For example, the Spider Woman, the mom. I love that moment. That moment is so good. He shows truly how like soft his heart is, because he's going full force to just like wreck this demon. That is what they're there for. They're there to kill demons, and he can see the despair in this one person. Although it is a demon, he recognizes the despair immediately and doesn't stop, but is more gentle. And I was like, that's different. Like a lot of the protagonists, they will just be like, there must be another way. We have to do this other thing. And it's like, no, you don't have to do the other thing. You just have to be like, you have to have your heart like on your sleeve. You have to realize that leaving this alone will result in like extreme dangers, but you can handle it without just like straight bloodlust. Like it is possible to do that.
Yeah, you could be empathetic. You could see through, like, Tanjiro obviously doesn't know the full life story of every demon that he's murdering.
I don't know. We watch all their flashbacks, so he might know.
Yeah. Does he watch the show as well? But no, like he doesn't know, but he can get context clues, because again, the people the demons that he's killing were humans. They were people at one point. Mm-hmm. So it's just like he always remembers that, because his sister is a demon. And he's trying to save her, and he's trying to keep her from going down that path. So when he's looking at the enemies that he's fighting, he's like, this is like, would I want to have to kill Nezuko? And that, I think that is very simple. It's not like fucking high art, but it makes total sense of why he is empathetic to the demons, because his sister is one. And he's like, I can't save them. But in that moment with the spider lady, I can't remember what the damn name was, but he was like, you know what? I have to kill you. I have to. You've done wrong. You've done a lot of evil. And I have to slay you, but I'm going to make it as peaceful, as painless as I can, and end this quickly. And it's it's a mercy. Whereas you would have main characters like Midoriya, who, again, I'm reading the manga and I'm just like, all right, man, you know what I mean? Where it's just like,
fucking knock this guy out. Just like you can do it. And he's like, I have to hold back so that we can do these 85 extra. No. Punch him in the mouth,
like,
knock his ass out. He has killed thousands of people. Murder him in return.
That's my thing. Is like I be reading that shit. I just think of me where it's just like looks like we're gonna have to kill him, Winnie the Pooh, and it's just like damn. I was like, sometimes you gotta end it, man. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about Demon Slayer. I don't understand that complaint of it being, and I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I don't understand that opinion of me like it's carried by the animation. The animation is good, and that's a part of the goddamn show. That's the whole point of it being, in the animation medium. You're supposed to be putting that passion, that work to make the show the best that it can look. The fight scenes, choreographed and amazing. Like that is a part of anime. That's a part of it being an animation. So I don't understand how people will look at that and see it as a negative, as an additive. Now, if you want to sit up there and say that you don't like the characters, you don't like the story, and that's fine. But my thing is, and this might be my controversial opinion of the day, is I don't understand how people fixate on things that they don't enjoy. If I don't like something, I genuinely just don't think about it and don't talk about it.
Well, that's in the past now. Okay,
I don't go out of my way to be like, I need to make sure that people know that I hate this thing that they enjoy. Let people enjoy the shit that they want to fucking enjoy and be happy. If you don't find personal enjoyment or pleasure from it, fuck off and go watch something else that you enjoy. I don't understand how people are so miserable where they're just like, yo, I need to sit down and let everybody know I'm just stewing in it. I got swamp ass. I'm just stewing in my hatred for Demon Slayer. Like, just watch something else.
I want to know what Nova's talking about. A lot of issues in Demon Slayers were worsened by Tanjiro's hesitation. What are you talking about? When did that ever happen?
I don't know either.
There was one time, the only time that Tanjiro ever actually hesitated and could have had an impact was, I don't know, season 3, I think the Swordsmith Village, where he cannot decide between Nezuko and fighting the demon. That is it. And I was like, that's really deep. Like that was insane. Like there would just be some magic plot armor thing that would come up in every other show, but like Tanjiro literally had a panic attack right there. And like that could have gotten people killed, but that's being human. That happens. His whole entire reason for being a Demon Slayer in the Demon Slayer Corps was dying in his hands. Yep. And if he moved, she would not live. And so
he still made the decision.
Well, actually, Nezuko made the decision.
Well, yeah, but still,
but
he did it.
The hesitation was natural. It was real. It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to kill this guy because bad. No, it was like that is what would happen if your entire purpose for living your life the way that you do is literally decaying in your hands, and you moving would result in that thing vanishing forever. Would you just get up and leave? No, you would never do that. I was totally expecting him to like pull some bullshit out and make it work. But then when they zoomed out and he was just like having a panic attack and he was like only on half the screen and you could see the sunset or the sunrise in the background behind him, I was like, holy shit, this is intense. And they did such a good job animating that. Like it was in the manga and like it was good, but the animation was like so good. It really made you go, holy.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. It's like, do you let your last remaining relative die?
I can't think of any instance where Tanjiro hesitated and it caused a problem.
He was like the opposite.
He was the most decisive character out of everything except for like Tengen.
And Tengen's a fucking boss. He's a badass. So, not everybody can be Tengen.
Yeah. But like, what was one instance where that happened?
I'm trying to think of some future I haven't seen yet.
When they were on the mountain with Inosuke and they fought what they thought was the lower moon, the big buff guy, Tanjiro was straight up like, this is the game plan. And then when Inosuke was like, no, you can't do that because you're gonna try to outshine me, and he's like, all right, fine, fuck it, you do it then. that was so weird that the protagonist was straight up like, nah man, you got it, do it.
I love Tanjiro's character. Like I really and truly do enjoy Demon Slayer. But again, I'm very simple, man. I love me a good popcorn anime, man. I just want to sit down and watch them murder demons and have like good character interactions and have those empathetic moments and then see if they can win the day. Not everything has to be, Cowboy Bebop. Not everything has to be.
You don't gotta have genre definitions on everything. It's fine.
Sometimes you can just sit down and watch a dude with a katana do a bunch of cool, flashy fire water moves.
Which I think this is probably the only time that I'm like, nah, the author is wrong. The author said that none of those effects like are actually real. So like in the show, they don't exist.
They're just
so like
doing front flips and shit.
Yeah, so like all of the water animations that Tanjiro does and the fire that Rengoku does, none of that shows up. Like that's not a real thing. And I'm like, that's incorrect.
Yeah, no, I my head canon is that all that shit is fire and electricity and everything.
Rengoku literally blocks projectiles with the fire. Fuck you, it's real.
Yeah. I that's the only thing where I'm just like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, person.
You
who made
drew
the
this,
show.
but I don't think you understood what you started. You're gonna have
just
to backtrack on that one.
To start the convo. Nova, you are the quintessential anime guy. All right. Do we have any additional questions? You guys can ask them in Vix's channel or my channel by redeeming the Q&A redeems. I don't know what it is called on your side, Vix.
Podcast question, or actually it just says ask us a question.
Ask us a question. Very simple. I like it. But yeah, if not, then we can head on to the next topic. And I'll let you choose the next one, Vix.
I'm copying these.
We've only done the first one.
I just gotta look at which ones we have that I wrote down. Let's do this one. If you could have a Pokemon party of anime characters, who would be your 6 characters? So like if you could build a team of 6 off of just anime characters, who would they be and why? I think, let's see. I guess I should specify on like what the purpose would be for, because if I was just like, yo, I want 6 cool dudes, it'd be totally different than I'm being hunted. Help. For the sake of this, we'll say that we just want to hang out with some cool dudes, because if we just do I'm being hunted, there's literally just like 5 that you could pick, and then
it's gonna take too much. Like if you be 100 by fucking Hienera Sukuna, then who would you choose? Like, I have actually put in thought.
I mean, like as long as you're not being, so the thing with that would be like, as long as you're not being hunted by the end game Fire Force dude, Shiro Bansho Man, I think his name is, you can just say him and you'll win. So
yeah, I know.
So there are some characters that are just like so wildly overpowered. So we're just gonna be like, I want a team of 6 that is not useless but is still cool dudes. I would pick.
So my 6. Yeah,
we'll go every other. So I'll go with my first one. So my first one would be probably Tanjiro, because of all the reasons that we mentioned moments ago. I can't imagine having like anybody cooler around. Like he is just the bomb. I would love to hang out with Tanjiro. He's so nice. He's like not really scared of having to do extra things. So that would be like really nice to just have him around.
That would be sick. Again, I will put Tanjiro, but we'll do separate lists. I'm gonna write mine down as well as I can keep up with it. I was gonna do a whole joke. I was gonna be like, Yoruichi, Rangekyu.
Ladies.
Just make like
I mean, if you want to go the DGen route, man.
My whole 6, my 6 anime characters, they be all them and then oiled up and then. But no, I'll do mine. My first one will be a character from Bleach. It will be Ichigo Kurosaki. I fucking love Ichigo. Like Ichigo is so fucking sick. He's one of my favorite fucking main characters. His drip is fucking immaculate. Whenever you see Ichigo in one of the openings, especially like the first one, and they have like that's one of my favorite things about Bleach.
Like that's like the thing about Bleach is they were the ones with the really cool outfits. They did that in the cover arts and stuff in the mangas too.
Yeah, dude, it was so good. And Ichigo is just like so chill. He just like, hey man, I'm a dude. I just going to school. I can see ghosts. I have my friends, want to protect them, and I'm just doing what I could do to be a good guy. Because I wasn't able to protect my mom when I was a kid. And I'm just like, man, that's so fucking like, I don't know. It's simple in that regard, but it's also like, it's human. It's personable. Like you can understand Ichigo's motivation. He just wants to protect those that he cares about and that he's around. And he just is a good friend. And also he's funny. He's hilarious. He's awesome. And he's not like most main characters where you see like a Naruto or you see like a Luffy and it's just like, we have these goals
Fuck
of
that talk
being
no
the
jutsu. I'm here to
Hokage.
kill.
Yeah, like Ichigo is just like, don't fuck with me, don't fuck with my friends, don't fuck with my family, don't fuck with my town, and we good. And if you do, he will beat your ass. One of my favorite moments, because I'm so glad that Bleach is back. God, I love Bleach. Seeing Ichigo like get kind of like surprised attacked by the fucking villains of the 1,000-Year Blood War. I forget what they called. The evil guy.
Quincy's?
Yeah, well, they have a name, but I forget what it's called. But
That's some German name.
Yeah, it's
Jagden Riders.
Some writers, yeah. And the dude shows up in his room and he just like, yo. And Ichigo just drops kick that motherfucker through his window.
Oh yeah, like the first guy that shows up, he's just like, he's immediately comes in, is like trying to intimidate him, and he just kicks him straight out the window. That is like, so hilarious.
You my main character.
That is like you, that is like, no bullshit.
I don't give a fuck. And that is the like most, characters.
Yeah, that is the most no bullshit moment ever. It's like, you came in here, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but this.
I love that moment, and that's why Ichigo will be my first. All right, who's your second?
Let's see, who would be my second? I think I would want somebody probably like different. I almost would want to say Inosuke, but I almost want to change series, because Inosuke would be fucking hilarious to just have around. Not all Demon Slayer, because I would never take Zenitsu. I would never take Zenitsu in my 6. There's no way. His like crying and screaming and whatever is. No, I thought the same thing. I hated Inosuke.
Not Inosuke, but fucking Zenitsu.
Yeah,
I was just like, I can't listen to this dude yelling like, my damn ear.
He got better, but it was not enough. Let's see. So who would I add? I think just because it would be really cool to just listen to him. Shikamaru would be sick. I would love to just sit down and like be able to talk to Shikamaru sometimes. Like he just thinks so far ahead that I'm like, dude, that would be awesome. Like, could you just like teach me a little bit? That would be kind of dope. I would sit there and lose at shogi for like 10 years and just be like, this is awesome. But he's like, he's able to be like so stoic in the moment, like as he needs to be. It's kind of like a contrast to Tanjiro, who's like, I can resolve myself to do this. Shikamaru is like, you're probably gonna have to die, my guy. So I really appreciate the like ability to just like not pull punches. Like, if you need to go, you need to go. So that's what would be your second one?
Yusuke Urameshi.
Oh, I should have known.
Dude, again, Ichigo and Yusuke are kind of the same. They fit that delinquent, but nice, delinquent with the heart of gold. You know what I mean? Like, Yusuke is so good. And again, it's either Yusuke or Kaiba, but I need a shit talker on the team. I need somebody I can go bar for bar with and just be insulting each other. Dude, going back and rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho and just seeing how much shit Yusuke says to people, even while in his mind he's doing like a fucking like main character like dialogue moment in his head, just thinking over what the fuck. He's like, I'm so fucked. Everything is shit. He's gonna kill me. And he was like, come beat me, you bitch. I'm gonna whoop you. And like, he's just talking out of his ass. And I love that shit about Yusuke. He will shit talk gods, demons, the strongest man on the face of the planet. But then again, some of those human moments, those moments where he's just like, yo, I'm in over my head, with like Taguro's destroying that whole parking lot. And you see Yusuke like freaking the fuck out. Like, he's not stupid. I didn't turn this off. He is not an idiot. He is not a fool. He's intelligent. He's a fighter with his words, with his fist, and it's great.
Do you want to address that raid? I'll put a marker and address that raid.
Yeah. What's up, Raiders? Welcome in. How you doing? How you living? How's it going? It's your boy, Beautiful Crow. We are doing our first ever episode of our anime podcast, DNAnime. We have our sound alerts and stuff off real quick. Raw Hop on the ears. We're here. Digimon, another underrated anime opening. The season 4 Digimon opening. Tell me something I don't know. Well, welcome in, everybody. I appreciate the raid so much. I hope you had fun. I'll give you a shout out once we get done with the anime podcast portion of the stream, and then we hop into Yu-Gi-Oh! It'll be more like a normal stream, but right now we're just talking. But yes, to go back to what I was saying, Yusuke Urameshi. Again, Yusuke, kind of like Ichigo, is just a good guy. You know, outside of that like rocky hard, you know, delinquent, you know, exterior. Again, he's one of the characters that I kind of relate to. It's not exactly 1-to-1, but like the issues that he had with his mom, and she was a single parent, and like she was like drinking a lot, she was alcoholic, but she cared for him, and he didn't think that she did, and he was just like on the outs where he's like, no one gives a fuck about me. Like no one cares about me. So if I was gone, you know, nobody would care. But then he sees in that again, the first episode is like such a good, like really like explainer of Yusuke as a character. But then he goes out of his way to save that child, and then he dies for it. And then it's just like, yeah, you know, we always thought that you were just this piece of shit delinquent.
You show your true colors here and now. I always thought that was a load of bullshit, though, when they were like, "Oh, the child would have been fine if you didn't." I'm like, then that means
that was so fucked up.
I was like, then that means I should have been fine because that's where I was.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't jump face first to a fucking Toyota Camry. But yeah, so again, I would want to hang out with Yusuke. Yusuke is a good guy. He's a good friend. He will fight for you. He'll beat people ass. And he's also just fun to hang out with and fucking just shit talk. I think again, that's kind of friends I had growing up, and I think Yusuke will be a good fit. So who's your third, Vix?
So my third, I was like scrolling through my watch list because I was like, man, I really need to I need to think about who I need to like make my group well-rounded. So like, I didn't have in my initial like thoughts somebody that I could just like shit talk with, and I was like, yeah, I'd do that also. So I need somebody that would shit talk. And scrolling through the list, I came up with somebody that I think would be awesome to just shoot the shit with. If you've ever seen Assassination Classroom, Karma, I
don't remember which one that is. I didn't watch a lot of it.
Red-haired one. He was the red-haired one that was like the contrast to Nagisa. He was like the combatant.
Yeah.
He literally makes fun of the guy who can break glass with his hands just so that he could just fuck that guy up in his own way. He like, you can do that, but I'm gonna make you look like a bitch doing it. So, and he does it, and he does such a good job of just like talking shit all the time. And he spends the whole series talking shit to the class 1 dude the whole time. And I was like, yo, he roasted the shit out of him. Oh, it was so good. I loved it so much. He was one of my favorite characters. I love that he had so much screen time. And then the confrontation between him and Nagisa was so fucking good. I was like, I cannot believe that this stupid ass tentacle monster set up this crazy classroom for all this.
Dude, yeah, no, I need to go back and watch Assassinating Classroom. Again, it was one of those animes that a friend of mine, he would watch all the time. So when I would come over, I would just watch episodes with him. And so I kind of got like piecemeal like knowledge about Classroom of the Elite. One day I will go back and try to finish it now that it's all done, I think. But yeah, my number 3 on my list, again, it's a classic. It's an oldie. Probably not the best pick, but it will be Spike Spiegel. I love me some Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
and while Spike Spiegel might not be the best person, he's so fucking cool, dude. Like, if you want to know how to be just the coolest motherfucker, how to flow like water, how to just like a duck, just have everything flow off your back and nothing hits you, you will want to sit down and talk to the boy Spike Spiegel. He, like, the dude is so fucking cool, man. Like, from the fights that he goes on through, you know, all his character backstory with all these characters and all these like little like there would be certain episodes of Cowboy Bebop where he would just meet and run into like a random ass character while he's on a job, and then you have like this whole episode where they would go on a journey and a story together, and he would have to watch them. He would learn about their story. Ooh, fuck! I just thought about another character. All right, I'm about to take a character off there. You know, it's gonna be a dude bro list. I just thought about somebody. I just thought about something that would be even better. But anyway, but yeah, no, Spike is just the coolest motherfucker like in space, man. Again, while they were probably down and out a lot of times, while they would fuck up jobs more than not, and he's kind of a dumbass at times, he was just so fucking smooth. Like, through his fights, through his interactions with different characters, whether they were on a team or characters that he would just meet and have like these short connections with, even though sometimes at the end of episodes, those characters would die or something bad would happen. Him just being there and having to witness that with somebody that he made a genuine connection with, either through fighting or just through trying to help them out on a job or just meeting somebody that he just fell in line with during that episode. He was always like trying his best to do everything that he could to either help or get a job done. And he just was always himself. And I fucking love Spike for that. Spike is just the coolest motherfucker, period. And Cowboy Bebop is just, one of the best shows ever made. It's so good, dude. I wish I had more episodes, but
I'm gonna piss off all of the listeners and Crow. I did not like Cowboy Bebop.
I will rip your head off.
I made it 17 episodes in. I was like, I cannot watch this boring shit anymore. And I just never turned it back on. I was nothing was interesting. The most interesting thing in the show was the fucking dog. And just because he was a dog. And I didn't like anybody else. I was like, I don't care about any of these characters.
Dude, My Valentine, Jet, Spike. Like, dude.
Who was it that wanted the controversial opinions? This is where you come from.
People, audio listeners, you guys can see it, but in our Twitch chat, people are revolting. They are very upset. But no, Cowboy Bebop was my shit. I mean, growing up watching Toonami, man, there's so many anime that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that I used to watch, like Witch Hunter Robin and fucking Wolf Rain. It's just like there's so many good classic anime on Toonami, or now Toonami, but on Adult Swim, that I just feel like we're not, nobody talks about, and I just feel bad. That's fair, Vix. Iron is Pog, but come on, man. Cowboy Bebop is great. You need to expand your mind.
I just don't get it. Like, maybe I missed the boat. It might have been like a relic of its time deal where it was good at the time, because I didn't watch it till like almost a decade later. So I was like well into like the rest of anime, and then going back, it was like, all right, this animation kind of sucks. The colors are drab. These characters are like overdone 10 million times.
What do you mean?
There was just nothing like.
Are you sure you watched Cowboy Bebop? You sure you didn't watch
I'm positive because I remember Spike's dumbass haircut, and I was like, this is so dumb. I'm like, why is your hair like that, my guy?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the DNAnime podcast. This is the last episode. Not a joke.
First and last one. I'll be finding a ditch somewhere on the side of the road.
Cowboy reboot. But yes, that would be my third. How about your next person on your list?
My fourth is going to be actually a lady. If you've ever watched D. Gray Man, have you seen Lena Lee?
Yes.
She would be there. She would just be, I think she would just be like stereotypical. It's really cool to hang out with. She's really strong. I really like the style of her like power, the boots, being able to be like speed based, and then like later on in the series they evolve into like crystal innocence, and I was like, yo, that's cool as fuck. Don't like that they cut her hair though. She looked a little weird after that, but I just had to get used to it. And then they canceled the show, and I was like, fuck. No.
Dude, it fucking sucks, because I was so into The Gray Man and I was loving it, and then I was just like, where the next episode at? Why
they actually like once a year or something, they'll drop like 20 chapters, and then I just blast through it, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and then I'll just be like, that was awesome, time to wait a whole year.
I mean, better that than fucking Berserk. Like it was one chapter every like fucking year, and I was on that damn boat with Guts and them for 7 in real life years. That damn boat ride lasted, and I would read every chapter whenever it came out, dude. I love Berserk, but yes. That's a good pick. I totally forgot about Lena Lee. Dude, I haven't watched The Gray Man in like, fuck, it's got to have been like 14, 15 years now.
I know. It was so good. And like the manga is like, it's gotten better now that you finally get like the backstory for everybody. But they like totally removed Lena Lee from the cast. She hasn't shown up in like 50 chapters.
Oh, damn.
They're so focused on Alan's backstory now that while it is cool, everybody that you got used to in the order, gone. You don't know any. You don't see anybody but Kanda and Alan. That's it. And then, well, and you know, Timken P or whatever the fuck that thing's name was.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, the little golem thing. But yeah, like I hope that they don't stop, but I do want them to bring back the old characters, because like Lily just got the ability to like fly with those boots, and then they were just like, nope, no more. We're done with this. And I was like, what? No, you can't. Please.
All right. So next on my list would be the boy, the guy, one of the most badass ninjas on the planet. it'll be Neji. Neji Hyuga.
Naruto Uzumaki.
No. I love Naruto to death. And Rock Lee is my favorite. Rock Lee is my favorite, like, Naruto character. But god damn it, man, I love Neji. Like, I honestly feel like, and I enjoyed Naruto from the beginning. Again, the Zabuza arc, or the Great Naruto Bridge arc, is what really, like, cemented Naruto as an amazing show to me.
Oh yeah, the fucking fight with Zabuza when Naruto pulled that switcheroo bullshit. I was like,
dude, it was so fucking sick.
As a kid, that was like, whoa!
It was so sick, dude. And I love Naruto. I love Rock Lee, but you know, for my boy Neji, like, I love Neji because the themes of Naruto hit the hardest, or are reflected the best in that fight between Naruto and Neji.
So you want to hear something really sad? Involving Neji and Rock Lee. Rock Lee never beat Neji in a fight.
Yep.
So, and now he'll never get the chance.
He'll never get the chance.
That, when I heard or thought about that, I was like, no way, that sucks. That's like, that would be like if you took Guy out of the equation between Guy and Kakashi, or like you just took Kakashi out. It's like the dynamic is gone now.
Yep. That's what sucked. And that's why I want my boy Neji on my list so I can hang out with him. Because Neji, again, he was an arrogant prick. Because all the stuff that he had going on with the branch family and the fucking seed family, the main family branch, and the side family branch, and his fate in life, and fucking stupid curse mark on his forehead, and all that bullshit. But like Naruto knocking some motherfucking sense into him and showing him, like, yo, anybody with enough hard work and time and training can be worth something as well. And him uppercutting that lesson into fucking Neji's chin, and Neji's changed, bringing pretty much a brother to Naruto. It's so beautiful to see. Like, I fucking love.
Yeah,
like, Naruto had so many great relationships with certain characters. But yeah, his relationship with Neji was fantastic. Like, I loved how Neji was like so protective of Naruto, because he was like, this man changed my mind of how the world works, and I want to do everything that I can to make his dream be realized, so I could be proven wrong, and you know, the lesson that I learned, other people can learn as well.
Unfortunately, the lesson that was taught was wrong. Because
Naruto
is son of the fourth Hokage and the red habanero of the leaf, holder of the nine-tailed fox.
We ain't gotta talk about that. We ain't gotta talk about that. So what? Naruto became a god. It was the intent
behind it.
Yeah, the message is what's important.
It was the message that matters.
But yeah, Neji was just really fucking sick. I love the fucking 64 palm.
Yeah, after that. Oh yeah, the Hyuga style fighting was dope.
So fucking sick.
I wanted Hinata to be more like active too, because in one of the fillers she does like this condensed chakra net, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. And then she never does it again. And then like when she fights Pain, she does the like twin tiger things or whatever. And then misses every hit. And then just never gets to fight again. And I was like, you got shown awesome ass moves twice, and you never got to land shit.
It sucks. I love Hinata too, but yeah, she was a woman in the shonen anime. So no, a fate worse than death. But no, like, again, Neji will be my boy. But all right, who's next on your list?
All right, next on my list, pretty underpowered dude. In fact, he's actually quite weak, but he's very smart, and how he handles everything in the show is so good. Senku from Dr. Stone is so good. He is like, he loves to just like fuck with people, and it's so great because everyone is like, oh my god, I can't believe I gotta do this, and then like everybody does it, and everybody ends up feeling good about everything that they've done, or something new comes up and they're like, oh, this was the hidden meaning behind it the whole time. Like when he tried to get light, or when he first just like rediscovered how to invent the light bulb, and then he made the Christmas tree. I was like, that's awesome. And the show itself had such intense moments. Like the end of season 1 was fucking godly. When they revealed the crystal disc, I almost cried. I cried. It was so good. It was so good.
I love Dr. Stone.
But yeah, there was nothing that like could even compare at the time. Like that was so it was so deep, and I was not ready for it. Not in the way that Senku had acted all the way up to that point, that it was like you didn't really expect there to be a tearjerker moment, and then his like guardian dad steps in,
dude,
3,700 years
dad.
into the past. And they keep showing flashbacks, and I'm like, fucking stop showing me that shit. I'm gonna cry again. I'll cry.
Oh, dude, no. Like, Dr. Stone was so good. Now, like you said, I never expected that. I thought it was just going to be this fun show of them. It was like, hey, you know, this fucking, you know, past, future, Bill Nye the Science Guy anime. And I was like, oh, this is fun, like learning how to make shit.
And I almost didn't watch it because his hair was stupid. When I saw the cover art
like
for the
green
manga,
onion or whatever,
the manga cover art of chapter of like volume 1 was so like fucking atrocious. And he had this stupid spring onion hair. I was like, man, that's dumb. I don't know what possessed me to read it, but I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And then I started to read it, and I'm like, wait, this is like really good. And it just kept getting better. Like, there are, in most shows, there are like dips and valleys and stuff that is like kind of, you get through like a little boring part, maybe one of the arcs ain't your favorite. Dr. Stone never went downhill for me. It only got better the entire time. There was never a moment that I was like, oh, well, man, fuck this arc. The whole thing was so good, start to finish, and like
I'm so happy
they're not even done. Like I could not wait to keep watching it after the first season. I immediately went and read the manga all the way through, and then I had to wait every week for the next chapter, and I was like, this is worse than death. Yeah, so like where they took it to in the manga, I'm not gonna say because they might actually get there and animating it, but it was not what I was expecting. So
yeah, no.
But yeah, what is it? Your fifth character.
All right, my fifth character, you might sense a theme, but it is the boy. I changed out because I was going to have Yoruichi on because I fucking love Yoruichi. She's so fucking awesome.
She just doesn't get enough screen time. Like, you can't really...
She really and truly don't.
You can't, like, resonate with her. She doesn't show up ever. She's only
still, whatever screen time she got, she makes the most of it. And I love her dynamic with Hana.
Fucking titties and ass.
Yeah. I'm a simple man, Vix. But I removed Yoruichi, which is sad because I'm just like, no, it's got to be a bro list. And my next bro, my next homie.
It doesn't have to be. I got a girl in mind. I
know, but I'm being sexist right now. I'm an anime fan. I
hate women.
But no, I chose Vash the Stampede.
Oh man, I didn't get to watch the original, but the remake was so good.
Dude, Vash the Stampede and Trigun in general. Trigun is so fucking good. I read the entire manga because again, the anime only goes so far, right? And they kind of deviate to give the anime a sufficient ending, which it kind of does, it kind of doesn't. But I read all of Trigun and all of Trigun Maximum. And I fucking love Vash the Stampede as a character. One of my favorite moments in all of Trigun.
He caught me off guard. I did not know that he was a total pacifist through the whole show. I thought at some point he would just like break. And he did it the whole time, at least in the new one. And I'm also super glad that they managed to make that 3D stuff work because it looked really slick. So,
I still need to watch that. But yeah, I won't spoil anything. But yeah, that is Vash's whole character. He's a pacifist. And when you learn more about Vash and what he's all about and the things that he was going through over the time period of his entire life, it's just like, this dude is just like the best guy that ever guide. You know what I mean? Like, Vash is just so nice, so like jovial, so empathetic, so kind that even when people are trying to kill him, he does whatever he can to protect everyone. And that's the feat that he always pulls off. Like when you're watching the show, the original show back in the 90s, you see the fights and he does everything in his power. And he does like this insane shit. Again, this man is a magician when it comes to a fucking gun. And he's able to protect everyone around him by pulling off these insane stunts. And you're just like, dude, Vash is the motherfucking man. And then there's a moment where he's with the two special agents that are trying to track him down. I forget that there's Meryl, and then I forget what big lady is. I forget her name. It's been so long since I watched Trigun, but they were awesome. And then there's a moment in Trigun, the original series, where Vash is in his room and Meryl and the other girl are coming in. I forget what. Damn, I'm so mad. I'm forgetting her name. But anyway, they come in to talk to him, and he's sitting down with his shirt off.
You talking about the reporters or the villains?
Well, they're kind of reporters, but they're also like special agents who are kind of like trying to track them down, like kind of like they're not bounty hunters, but they're kind of reporters.
It was the old guy with the that smoked a lot, and then the girl that was with him, right?
No, it's two girls. Is Meryl, who's like the short girl. Oh, she was in a CGI version, but she's the shorter girl with like the short hair, kind of tomboyish, and is like dark blue or black hair.
Yeah, they must have changed that a little bit in the.
Yeah, I think they changed it because they were like government agents that were looking for Vash. Yeah. In the original series. I'm not sure how the remake changed it.
They have the one tomboyish girl as one. I don't know if they're like chasing him, but I guess they are in a way. The old guy is like trying to get her to not, because he's like the human typhoon or whatever.
He's a humanoid typhoon.
And like she was like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna go check it out, and she does the whole series.
But yes, Millie and Meryl. I love the moment when they walk in on Vash in his room and he has his shirt off, and you just see the battle damage that he has. And they talk to him, and he's like, I don't like women seeing this because it's just like scars. He has like all these like bandages and like leather wraps that are just pretty much holding his body together.
Oh yeah, they don't
because
really
he's fucked up. He's missing an arm. Like he sacrificed so much to be a pacifist.
They do go into that world.
Yeah. He sacrificed so much when, to the point where he's costing himself he's fucked up. Like he lost his arm. He's got scars and bullet holes and screws and bolts and all kind of shit in his chest. Like he is fucked up, but he's like, I don't want to kill because life is precious. And the person that taught me that is no longer here. So he does everything that he possibly can to kind of treat life as valuable as it should be treated. Like anybody's life is important, no matter what kind of person that they are. Yeah. So he tries. And again, there's a lot of moments where it's just like he's pushed to the limit and he's like, I don't know what I can do. I'm in between a rock and a hard place. Like I can't save everyone. And he literally has a piece of shit villain who is great. I fucking love Knives, who's just trying to go out of his way to push him to that point of no return. To show him that lesson that he was taught so long ago by pretty much his maternal figure, like that shit means nothing, and everything that you fighting for and everything you believe is so fragile, and I'm gonna break you, Vash. And just watching him struggle and know what it's cost him. Vash is just the best, dude. I love Vash the Stampede, the humanoid typhoon. I'm not gonna try to say his entire goddamn name because it's like his name is so long and it's so ridiculous. But I love Vash, dude. I had to put him on my list.
Yeah, Vash.
Who is your number 5?
My number 6 is going to be one of my like childhood one. He was, in fact, my first cosplay, Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail.
What? You cosplayed that Natsu?
He was my first cosplay back when he was like, even before the Magic games. It was actually the only cosplay that I could get in time. So this is before I had ever been to a convention, and one of my friends was like, hey, we're going to Anime Midwest, and I was like, oh, sick. And they're like, you want to come? And I was like, yes, I do. And it was Wednesday, and I was like, this is before Amazon was like super common. So I was like, how the fuck do I get a cosplay in time for this? So just the one I could find was a Natsu cosplay, and it showed up on the Friday that we were leaving, and it fit enough. And I think I was 18 when I did it, and so I was in pretty good shape. I wasn't like super toned and defined or anything, but I was in shape enough that I could walk around without having to like an undershirt or whatever. So I just I had the open vest, I had the puffy white pants, I have the scarf. I actually have 2 of his scarves. So he was like, to me was like so cool at the time, because it was like, dude just does what he wants, right? Like he just does not care. He is like, I will fight you because I'm gonna fight you, bro. And amongst the rest of my party here, I think him and Karma would be hilarious to see together. And the 2 of them would be able to like shoot the shit together. And then, there's like Senku and Shikamaru and Tanjiro who are like more relaxed and stuff. So he kind of gives Karma someone to bounce off of, so he doesn't have to always be in, fighting everybody. But I think Karma would like us outside of Magic, because that would tip the scales a little bit. I think Karma and Natsu would have fun just like beating the shit out of each other. That's what they would just do, is they would just fight all the time. And I think they would have a blast. I think it would be fun to, like, if I was with them, it would be fun to watch them, to participate if I could. Imagine the things that like Karma could teach you as like when he got older and he was like the principal or whatever. I think he was the principal. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if he became the principal or if he was like a military guy. But him and Natsu fighting, and like he could teach you so much because he learned from the higher class, and he learned such like valuable lessons that when Natsu would just try to come at it brute strength style, and then Karma would fucking lay him out because he comes up with great plans and stuff. That would be so much fun for no other reason to have him around. Otherwise, that would be a hoot and a half. But that's all you need, though, is like you just need it for the people that you want to hang out with. Someone's just got to be, so you just got to have fun. And I got people in my party that would, keep it to a reasonable level, but then I also got people that would kind of push that limit a little bit. So I think he would be a great fit, and he would be really cool to hang out with. Added bonus if he comes with Happy, because he has to.
Hey, that's cheating.
When I cosplayed Natsu, I had a Happy backpack that his head was like so big. It had a zipper on the back of it. All of my cosplays that I've ever done always had like some form of like carrying. So like Meliodas had his backpack, Natsu had Happy, which was just a backpack. And then I did Bell Cranel shortly. It was kind of like a budget cosplay, but he has like the little side pouch. I always cosplay people that has things to carry things.
I mean, that's good, especially during like fucking conventions and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's rough. You need to have some water. You got to have some snacks. Like it should be rough. All that walking you doing.
Yeah. But yeah, right. So who will be your sixth character? Round it out for us.
Rounding out my
lady.
list.
We're ready.
Nah, it's not gonna be a hot lady, but it's gonna be a hot man. So to wind out my list, it will be the boy Rengoku from Demon Slayer.
The donut boy.
Wait, come on, man. You can't do that to me. That's my boy. That's my no. But no, man, Rengoku was just fucking cool.
Oh, I loved him. I loved him.
When you watching
the movie, made me cry, and I saw it twice. I saw it twice, and both times I was like, no, dude, it was. I don't know how they managed to get you to be so attached to Rengoku in like half a movie, and then at the end you're like, all right, well, I have to also join the Demon Slayers now because you have pissed me off.
Because that thing is like, when I went to go see the film in theaters, right? And I love going to go see anime films in theaters. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it can be a little like iffy because, people try to make the shit about them. But watching Mugen Train in theaters with my friend at the time, it was such a blast. I fell in love with Rengoku. Like, again, I really love like the fired up, red-blooded characters in shows. If you guys can't tell by my fucking list of pretty much a lot of shonen characters. And I thought Rengoku was so cool. And they introduce him, and it's so stupid. Like, Tanjiro and them walk up, and it's like, ooh my, and he's just like, delicious. He's just eating all this food. And it's just like so silly, and he's so goofy, but then he shows you why he's a Hashira. Because the only real interaction that you have with a Hashira before that is the water Hashira. I forget his name now. Yeah, Giyu. So just like, you kind of get him and whatever, you get to feel like, oh, he's strong or whatever.
Yeah, and Rengoku is so contrasted to Giyu, because Giyu is just like chill, I don't give a fuck. And then Rengoku's got that warrior spirit. He even has like I love when he's like eating on the train and he's like, oh my!
Yeah, it's so good. And then I love the fact that they did it with because they released like the season 2 season of the show, which is just the retelling of the movie. But they gave you that one episode beforehand. So in between season 1 and season 2, before they get on the train, and you kind of learn more about Rengoku as a character and some of his personal stuff and like why he was eating the food and like all the stuff he was doing like on the lead up to getting on the train. I was like, that made me love him more, and it broke my heart even more after watching shit again.
I know, it was so good. And then they put it at the beginning of the fucking next season, and you're like,
yeah,
you guys suck.
So I love Rengoku because not only was he just like this goofy ass dude. All right, I'll continue my sentence after this. Welcome in, Raiders.
No, but you're wrong, Mr. Trying to start shit. That doesn't matter if he got stabbed. It doesn't matter. He couldn't help anyway.
Dude, what, bro? The dude withdrew minutes after, couldn't fight him for whatever.
He literally had to withdraw because Rengoku fought him for as long as he did. That's fucking bad take. That's almost as bad as mine on Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. Well, what's up, Raiders? Welcome in, Free Bird. How you guys doing? How you living? How's it going? It's your boy, Beautiful Crow. I'm with Vic Seal, and we're recording the anime podcast. I appreciate the rate. If you guys like anime, stick on around. We're going to be hopping over to a Q&A section to round out the podcast in a momento. Don't try to slip that in. Exactly. Like, don't try to make it a lovable character trait. Your bad take. But welcome in, everybody. Yeah, we're set. We're doing our anime podcast. It's called DNAnime, and we're just talking about our 6 characters that we would love to have, like a Pokemon team of just anime characters you would like to hang out with.
I'm convinced that anybody that says what Kit just said, or Tanjiro is my least favorite main character, doesn't understand what Tanjiro stands for.
Exactly. Tanjiro is amazing. I love Tanjiro. But yes, to continue talking about my boy Rengoku, is that he showed you the pinnacle of power for the Demon Slayer core. And I love that. Because, again, he showed off as this goofy dude just eating all this food over and over again, as dicking around. But then as the show goes on, it shows the gap, which is cool. Again, I love that in
shows his,
shonen.
Experience, too, because not only is he, super strong, but he, after being attacked, quickly can, analyze, distribute the workload, and then explain the situation, and then leave. And everybody understood what was happening. Everybody knew exactly what to do. And he just kind of managed it on his own up to the point where, you needed Tanjiro to go do whatever it was.
And again, it's rough because, spoiler alert from Mugen Train Art, he does, die at the end. But he was a measuring stick for the main characters or the characters at the time. Because it's like, yo, you love Tanjiro. You see them go through all this shit. You fighting all these demons. He's going through all these hard-fought battles. Episode 19 of season 1 was fucking crazy. But then you meet Rengoku, you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, they really gave you a scope of how, because even just watching him before the fight with the upper demon, I think he's upper 3, I think. But you could really tell that even though Tanjiro was fighting neck and neck with Lower Moon 12, Rengoku was 10 million miles ahead of them. They didn't even fight anybody strong until the end, but you could immediately tell just how he handled all the situations, how strong that he was, and then he even afterwards showed or taught Tanjiro afterwards. So he was very good at protecting. He was very good at measuring the situation, and then he was also still compassionate enough to be hey, you can do this. Just listen to what I'm saying and then just take it one step at a time.
Yep. I love that. And in those that few, that one battle, that one quest, that one job that they were all on, you really see how the characters have to mature from that moment. And even though Rengoku isn't around anymore.
Finding out Rengoku's dad, though, was yikes.
That was rough. And again, it's another reason why I love Rengoku so much, because he was just he was
my dad, I am not going to let this change me. And then he fulfills the role for his younger brother. And his younger brother was I want to be like you. And he's you can. He wasn't you shouldn't, it's dangerous. He was you can do it. I believe in you.
Dude, and I love Rengoku, dude.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's this, I'm stubborn as fuck, man. And I love, in the face of all the shit with his father, he was just nah, man, I'm going to be the Flame Hashira. I'm going to protect those. One day you'll get your shit back
pissed
together,
off
Dad.
When he told his dad that he, took up the mantle and became the Flame Hashira, and he was that was dumb. I was
dude.
What? I'm sorry, what did you just say to my precious man right there?
Dude, he was the best, man. He was the best. But I love that his sacrifice resonates through the show even now. And it pushes Tanjiro to keep going forward because they know what it truly means to be a Hashira now. From Rengoku's even after seeing other Hashiras Tengen and everybody else, Rengoku is really the shining example.
Yeah, Gyu was there, so they understood that they were strong, but I think Rengoku really showed them and kind of guided them into the scope of what a Hashira is capable of, because Gyu was just bro, I'm strong, fuck you, dude. And then because of Rengoku, they could really understand the power that Tengen held. So when he was you have to do this, this, and this, they were like, I understand, I got you. Because Rengoku really gave them an understanding of like the position of Hashira, even though Tanjiro was like, I'm still gonna headbutt the shit out of you if you try to cross me. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, so that will ride out our 6 characters on our Pokemon team.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking with. We're going to go into a Q&A section. But first, if you guys want to tell us what your 6 are, go ahead and drop it into either one of our Discords. We will appreciate it. And if you want to explain why you chose each one that you did, same way that we did, I would love to go by and read them all. And then don't forget, if you do have any more questions that you would like to introduce into the podcast potentially next week, drop them. I guess I'll make a channel in Discord that I don't have, but for now, drop them in like my general chat or my anime chat and Crow's anime chat for now. But yeah, we'll go on over to the Q&A section now. And then I'm going to yell at Kit because they watched it in fucking English. And as we've spoken about on this channel before, Demon Slayer has the worst rendition of English voice acting fucking ever made ever.
That is true. I mean, no, okay, I won't say it's true. I like Tanjiro. I like
and watch
the characters,
it again
but
in Japanese.
Nihongo Jozu. And then we will also answer some more questions. But no, I love Tanjiro. Fine. How are you doing, kid? How's everybody doing? We could be Twitch streamers right now, so I'm sorry if we missed some of your messages.
Yep. This is the wrap-up Q&A. We can address chat now. I'm still going to answer that question that Nova got because I have an answer that no one ever says.
Yeah, I'm going to go back up, Sora.
Because technically, it doesn't apply. It does apply, but it doesn't apply. Which character's death hit you the hardest? Gaara.
Gaara? Wait, why did Gaara hit you hard?
It was actually not Gaara's death that was the thing that hit me hard. It was Naruto's reaction to Gaara's death that really hit me. I was not ready for Naruto to be like so angry at everybody for just talking about Gaara as he was dead. But it was like as he got mad and he like whipped around and you could see him crying, I was like, this hits different than the rest of them. Like that's
what I loved about it.
Yeah, Jiraiya's was really sad too, but I think something about Gaara's just like stuck with me more than Jiraiya's did.
Because you get to see the change. Like Jiraiya, I love Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's death in Naruto broke me. Like I cried. I love Jiraiya as a character. Sure. Like I love them. It was just so fucked up because they didn't just kill him; they murked that man. Like, jeez,
yeah, they really fucked him up, and they were really showcasing how strong Jiraiya was too. Like to the point that you were like, he's gonna make it. They really made you think that he was gonna be good, and then they were just like, by the way, 6. And you're like, what?
God. But no, the thing with Gaara was that you get to see him change. Like you get to see him grow as a character from this psychopathic, murderous little kid that everybody was terrified of during the Chunin exams to him having a knockout, drag out brawl with Naruto and them relating because they're both Jinchuriki and them both feeling like, wait, I'm not so alone because there's somebody else who went through what I went through. And Gaara could look at Naruto as an example and be like,
Kit, at what point did that happen? Because if you fell for Gaara when he was if he was turning into Sand Beast Gaara and you were like, oh yes, mass murder, love it, then I'm sorry.
Something wrong with you.
If you fell for him after he kind of like simmered down and Naruto kind of taught him a lesson, then I got you. I got it. I understand.
Taught him a lesson.
Little baby weed kid at 14.
But yeah, no, like that Gaara's death was like it hit very hard because it was like
it's well established there's something wrong with me.
But yeah, Gaara's death was rough because you get to see him change. You get to see him be able to resonate with Naruto as a Jinchuriki, but then also realize Naruto's dream as becoming a Kazekage. And then having him die, was rough for Naruto because he just like,
oh yeah, he was like,
we had like this moment where we were like,
it was like a moment of we're doing it or against all odds. We together are doing it, and then he dies.
Yeah,
and he was torn because it was like not only his friend but also a fellow Jinchuriki. Like you said, became the Kazekage. But now that Gaara was like dead, was he would never get to see Naruto do the same.
Yep.
So it was like a level of despair, I guess, that nobody else could ever reach. Nobody else would relate to Gaara in the way that Naruto did. But it was also super good that like Naruto did react that way, because it really showed that Gaara had people. Gaara had somebody. So when Naruto reacted the way he did, it was like, yep, this like Gaara has changed. Gaara has people that care about him now, outside of being a mass murder machine. He was making strides, and then like as he was dying, you're like, man, all that hard work gone in the blink of an eye. And then, you know, Granny Chiyo doing Granny Chiyo things. And then and then she was dead, and I was like, oh, thank God Gaara's not dead. But I also hate that I like Granny Chiyo, but I almost wish she wasn't there for the fight with Sasori, because they try to take away from Sakura really fucking hard in that fight.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Chiyo did put a lot of work in, like kind of guiding Sakura through the fight, but fucking the Akatsuki are like the best ninjas in their areas.
Yeah.
So the fact that like Sakura, even to some degree, was holding up to that point was super impressive. And they both would have died if Sakura didn't make an antidote for the impossible poison. So like anybody who is like, yeah, Sakura got fucking carried through that fight. Did she really? Did you and I watch the same fight? I don't think so.
You know, anime fans, they're illiterate. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So read outsourced question from earlier while we were in the middle of a topic. Out of topic a bit, but have you heard about Demon Lord Reentry Season 2 announced? So I haven't. I never watched Demon Lord Retry. Is it Retry? Retry.
What even is that?
I don't know. I never heard of it. But no, I haven't heard of it. I guess you can look it up. I ain't got no Google thing up right now. But yeah, how's everybody doing? While Vix looks that up for me because I'm lazy.
I think I skipped it. It was
Retry. How is everybody doing today? How you doing? How you living? How's it going?
It looks familiar, but I don't think that I actually watched it. Like one of
Your
those
boys
really cheesy rip-off ones that was like, I didn't believe that it was going to be.
All right, I'm turning back on my channel point redeems. I know you guys are fucking chomping at the bit. I'm turning them back on. I don't know if they'll immediately be back on, but I'm slowly but surely turning them back on. And then I'll turn off the podcast Q&A, and I'll probably have to get rid of it or turn it off and mix it up, or not mix it up, but in Twitch. But I'll keep it on. I'll keep it on right now, since it's kind of like the Q&A portion of the podcast. But I'll worry about that after, while we get into the Yu-Gi-Oh thing after this. But yeah, if you guys got any other questions y'all want us to ask or answer while we're wrapping up everything, but I genuinely want to hear what you guys thought about the first episode. Obviously, we're going to keep working on the podcast and making it better. We're going to keep trying to change things. We're going to keep trying to... Why the hell are you writing a bunch of letters? But yeah, we're going to keep working on it and making it better. But I had a lot of fun. Dude, Vix, how do you feel after the first legitimate episode of the podcast?
I feel like that went pretty well. I didn't really have any issues. We stayed on topic. Everybody seemed like they were still involved and having a good time. If you take a look at Discord, the rough draft of the logo that Duke's made.
Wait, what?
Duke's made a rough draft of the logo for DNAnime. That looks pretty fucking sick. Yeah, wherefore art thou? It looks pretty fucking sick.
Dukes! What the fuck? That's awesome.